Good morning students, welcome back to English class. Today I am going to continue poem 6 Amanda by Robin Klein. In the last class already I told you that the poem is about a teenage girl named Amanda who is constantly controlled and instructed to do one thing or the other by her parents. Fed up of this much parental control, she created for herself a world of imagination. Let me explain you the stanzas and let's see what happens in Amanda's life. Today I am going to explain students first 4 stanzas and its poetic devices. Stanza 1. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. See, in this first stanza, these lines present some do's and don'ts instructions by one of Amanda's parents, perhaps by her mother. Here, Amanda is instructed by her mother not to bite her nails. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Not to bite her nails and not to bend her shoulders while she is sitting. Stop the slouching and sit up straight. Further, she was asked to stop slouching. Stop slouching means not to sit in a lazy manner and instructed her to sit up straight. So this way Amanda's mother instructed her to not to bite her nails, not to bend her shoulder and to sit up straight and not to sit in a lazy manner. See students, although mother seems to be over dominating by giving such instructions, yet she is concerned for her child. Biting nails is a bad habit. It is unhygienic as well. So she forbids her child to bite nails. Moreover, she instructed her to have a good posture, to sit straight, to have a good posture, as lack of good posture leads to many physical problems. Thus, Amanda's mother wants her daughter to adopt a right posture so that she can remain healthy. So this way, in the first stanza, it was the instructions given by her mother is clearly explained. Second stanza, there is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. See students, in this poem 3 stanzas, stanza 2, stanza 4 and stanza 6 are in parentheses because they are not spoken openly. These 3 stanzas convey the thoughts going in Amanda's mind. They express her mood, nature and feelings. These stanzas represent the imaginary and dreamy world of Amanda. So these 3 stanzas in the poem are in parentheses. In second stanza, in these lines it is seen that Amanda is lost in her own world. What she is wishing to be a mermaid. She is lost in her old world of imagination. She doesn't bother what her mother is instructing her to do. Even if her mother had given so many instructions in this stanza, she doesn't bother for her instructions. She imagines herself to be a mermaid who is drifting blissfully, means who is flowing along with the current of water with extreme happiness. Blissfully means extreme happiness. In a relaxed, calm, emerald sea. Languid means calm or relaxed. In a relaxed, calm, emerald sea. She imagines to be the only inhabitant where the sole inhabitant is me. She imagines to be the only inhabitant in the sea where no one can interrupt her freedom. There is nobody to restrict her movements and she would enjoy full freedom there. This is her imagination, this is her fantasy while her mother was giving her instructions. Here mermaid symbolizes sweet freedom of life. Amanda's dream is total contrast to her mother's instructions. As she does not have freedom with her mother around, she imagines to be a mermaid and enjoys her freedom where there will be no nagging, no instructions, no restrictions. Let's move to the next stanza. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Again in this third stanza, mother is questioning her daughter Amanda if she has completed her homework and cleaned up her room. Did you tidy your room? If she had cleaned up her room. Further, she asked her if she has cleaned and brushed her shoes. See students, although Amanda's mother seems to be rude and giving strong instructions, yet she wants her child to be punctual in doing the work on time, not to be negligent. She wants perfection from Amanda. So in this stanza, again along with her strong instructions, it seemed as if Amanda's mother is quite concerned for her daughter. Now, fourth stanza, I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Again, this stanza is in parenthesis. As I told you, it is in this stanza is in parenthesis, not spoken openly, and imaginary world of Amanda. These lines present the feelings and emotions of Amanda. She takes no note of what is being said to her, whatever instructions, whatever commands her mother is giving, she is not listening, she is not reacting. She takes no note of what is being said to her. Once again, Amanda is in her imaginary world. Troubled with parental control, Amanda imagines to be an orphan. I am an orphan, she is saying. Students, here the idea of orphan does not mean without parents. Here idea is to be alone, to get space and freedom, no questioning, no nagging, no restrictions. So, she thinks the life of an orphan is free from all these foundations, all these restrictions, and she wishes to enjoy the freedom of an orphan life. What she wishes to do being an orphan? Roaming the street, I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. She wants to wander around, she wants to roam around in the street all alone and make patterns on soft dust with the bare feet. I hope students you remember that in the previous stanza her mother told her to clean your shoes. I thought I told you to clean your shoes. So this thing was in her mind, and now she is thinking that she can make patterns, make designs on soft dust with her bare feet, with her feet without any shoes or slippers. A barefooted orphan does not need shoes and their cleanliness, so she won't have to clean her shoes. This is in her mind. She wishes for silence and freedom. In the last line it is given, the silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. She wishes for silence and freedom, as silence is precious and freedom is sweet. Students, actually Amanda is so much fed up, so much exhausted with the continuous nagging and do's and don'ts instructions of her mother that she wants her mother to be silent. So she says she wants silence all around her and freedom from all these instructions and commands. So silence is precious for her like golden, and freedom is sweet. So this is what she wants, she imagines in this stanza. So this way 4 stanzas explanation is over. Let's discuss about the poetic devices used. Students, in the very first stanza, don't, it is repeated in line 1 and 2, and this is poetic device anaphora is used here. Repeated expression or repetition of the same word in the beginning of 2 or more consecutive lines is anaphora. So anaphora is used here. Moving to the next line, line 3, stop that slouching and sit up straight. S, 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 S. So S sound is prominent here. Repetition of the same consonant sound words is alliteration. So alliteration poetic device is used in this third line. So in the stanza 1, anaphora and alliteration poetic devices are used. Let's move to the second stanza. In second stanza, it is emerald sea. First line, emerald sea, it is metaphor, because here green colored sea is compared with green colored precious stone emerald. So it is metaphor here. Next, mermaid. Mermaid, it is allusion. It is reference to, allusion is reference to a famous or well-known person or place, and here mermaid is reference to a mermaid is a character reference to a fairy tale. So it is allusion. Apart from this, drifting blissfully, it is imagery, because one can imagine, one can visualize this in the mind. So it is imagery used here. Thus in second stanza, metaphor, allusion and imagery are used. Let's move to the third stanza. Third stanza again, deed word is repeated in both the lines, it is anaphora. Let's move to the fourth stanza. I am an orphan. In this stanza again, metaphor is there in the last line. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. This is metaphor. So students, hopefully you well understood the explanation of these four stanzas along with the poetic devices used. In the next class, I will explain the rest of the portion of this poem. Till then, you revise it and write the message conveyed through this poem, whatever you understood. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much.